Ever get that feeling, like when you see an animal that's really hurting and you just wish you could do something?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of helplessness. It's tough.
Well, today's deep dive, it's kind of about that, but more about turning that feeling into action. And, sometimes things take an unexpected turn.
Right, because sometimes the situation's more complex than it first appears.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So we're going to be looking at Jeevashrey, and for anyone who doesn't know, they're an animal welfare organization, and we're going to be looking specifically at how they helped a cow in a really, really tough spot.
And what's interesting about this particular story is it kind of goes beyond just a single rescue. It's a look at how communities can really rally around an animal in need, and then also the ripple effect that just one person's dedication can have.
Yeah, and, the story itself is pretty heartbreaking. This cow had been abandoned, left out in the pouring rain for days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and some locals, thankfully, they found her, and things got really bad when she couldn't even stand up.
Oh, no. I mean, that just makes you realize how vulnerable animals are. They rely on us completely. And if those people hadn't noticed her, things could have ended really differently.
Absolutely. But thankfully, the Jeevashrey team in Igatpuri,
Yeah.
they heard about it and they jumped right into action. What really impressed me, though, was how they worked with the locals. It wasn't just Jeevashrey swooping in. It was like a whole group effort to get this cow help.
Exactly. That collaboration is so crucial. It creates this sense of shared responsibility, like the whole community saying, we won't let this happen here.
And then, get this, there's a plot twist. The owner shows up.
Oh.
Yeah, full of remorse for leaving her. Turns out the cow was really old and had really bad legs, so he just...
Oh, because that wasn't necessarily malicious, just...
It seems like it. And the amazing thing is, Jeevashrey, they didn't just lecture him. They persuaded him to take her back and care for her, especially in her final days.
Wow. It really makes you wonder what shifted in his mind. Was it guilt? Did he suddenly realize the responsibility? Or maybe it was Jeevashrey's approach, meeting him with understanding instead of just judgment.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. But honestly, what really struck me about this whole thing was Miss Sakshi, the founder of Jeevashrey. She didn't just stop at rescuing the cow.
Right.
She went the extra mile.
Yeah.
She explained to the owner how to care for a cow in her old age, and she even got the neighbors involved to make sure the cow was comfortable. Like, that's going above and beyond.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what true animal welfare is all about, right? It's not just the rescuing, it's that long-term well-being, especially when things get tough.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a bittersweet ending, but the cow, she got to spend her last days at home with her owner and people who cared about her.
Yeah. It's a really powerful reminder that even when death is inevitable, it doesn't have to be filled with suffering, especially for animals who depend on us for kindness.
Definitely. This whole story, it made me realize even small acts of kindness can make a huge difference. So, what are some ways our listeners can contribute, support organizations like Jeevashrey?
Oh, there's so many ways to get involved, honestly. You can volunteer your time at shelters, donate to organizations that are doing this critical work, even just raising awareness about animal welfare in your own community. Every little bit counts.
Absolutely. This deep dive, it really left me feeling hopeful. It shows what can happen when people step up for animals, when they really need it.
It really does. It makes you think, what small act of kindness could you do today? Could you help a neighbor with their pet? Speak up if you see an animal being mistreated, or even just try to be more mindful of all the creatures we share our world with. It all starts with us.
Yeah, exactly. Let's all try to be a part of creating a world where animals are treated with the compassion and care they deserve.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, that's it for today's deep dive. Until next time.
See you then.